record and we're going to have our conversation.
Amen.
So Toya, tell us a little about your background, a little about you. Who is Toya?
Wow, who is Toya? Well, I am originally from Canada, from Scarborough, Ontario, born in Scarborough Hospital. I think like my whole family pretty much is born at that hospital, amongst the fact that a few of my aunts and my mom was even a nurse at some point there. So it's kind of like the family hospital to go have babies. But yeah, I am, you know, what's the best way I should put it? I have been known to be just an entertainer, but my life has evolved greatly since then. Like you said in the introduction, I am a mama of twins plus 3, and just working that life out. And, you know, I'm still into like my natural gifts and talents, and I'm just figuring out different ways to rock that out. Mom world has kind of taken over a bit, and a wife life, all, you know, these different adjustments, but I'm like rocking with it, going through it, storms and all, and just, you know, really truly finding me again through the process. So who am I? It's so crazy. If you asked me that like 10 years ago, I probably would have had like some emphatic answer to give. Right. But I know, I understand now that I am so many different things. I have so many different titles, and I have so much to give in different areas of my life. And so that's still all coming together, but I'm enjoying the journey for the most part, keeping it 100.
Hey, I mean, that's what we got to do. We got to keep it 100 because, you know, sometimes people look at you, they see your smiling face, they see all the bubbliness, you're always encouraging people, and they don't realize that, you know, life is not always 100.
Right. It's very true. Very true. Especially in a season like this one, you know, people are like, how are you staying so happy? I'm like, well, there's a few things that I use to assist me, a few ways I try to like maintain with what I ingest, both mentally, physically, you know, like how I, you know, just move just to take care of myself, let alone to be able to extend that to my family and my friends. But I feel for the most part, it's just staying prayed up. And like, right. I'm so thankful for my spiritual journey at this point, because God's timing was so perfect to put certain things in place, like even up to weeks before this whole peculiar season,
right.
Like joining me up in a women's group. And so I had like a worship women's group that I was a part of, this group called Freedom. And so that was perfectly timed. Otherwise, I honestly don't know how I'd be rocking it through. I mean, yes, I go to my worship music. I have my go-to people in my circle. But you know, again, source is everything. And so I'm so glad that that connection has really brought me to this space to really be aware.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly, and different.
And I like that, because you speak to the value and the importance of having a circle, having people that can support you during the journey, and different people for different facets of your life. So now let's go back for a bit, because I want to come back to like COVID, Corona, what it's doing to us, but let's go back to what is like growing up like for you, because you've had quite an interesting journey, and I don't think people really know the essence of Toya.
Wow. Okay. Growing up for me, well, I was raised by my mom, single mother living, and she was a hustler. She was like a nurse who just was like, I'm going to take double shifts. I'm going to make sure that my kids aren't growing up in a space where they're exposed to people who aren't going to encourage them, or they won't be safe. And so she made a lot of sacrifice. And so I was born in Scarborough, lived in Scarborough for like, you know, maybe about 10 years of my life. And then we moved to Ajax. And we were like one of the very few in the neighborhood at the time. And my mom was like, this is where we're going to thrive. This is where we're going to, you know, this is the place we're going to use to help you guys grow and get you in the right direction and be around different types of people. And so I'm glad, because I am a lover of everybody under the rainbow. And I think because of my mom placing us where she did at the time, yes, there were certain challenges, you know, along the way, but for the most part, I have a real natural respect for everybody. And in turn, it put certain people into my life, like my grade 5 teacher, for instance,
Right.
Tynan, who, you know, casted me as Dorothy, which I never thought was going to happen, because I was thinking, they're not going to put the Black girl as Dorothy. And she said, no, there's something special about you, and I want you to just feel what it is to shine in that space. And so I did, and you know, along the way, I've done competitions like leading up to that, so they just kind of solidified my confidence a little bit. And you know, from there, really and truly, my mom didn't even think I could sing, if I'm keeping it all the way real with y'all.
Keep it real?
She did not think I was a singer like that. My father is a musician, and she just thought like, oh, she likes to sing and, you know, do the whole sing along to stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
But my grandmother, bless her soul, she was like, have you heard her really sing? Like, she sings out. Because whenever my mom did those doubles, she was with us.
Yeah, she was saying this to your mom.
Yeah, she said that to my mom, and my mom's like, no. And I was like, you know, in the behind the scenes being a little jelly, because my brother was the talented one. He was the actor, he was the model, he was the tap dancer, you know, good looking dude, smart. And so I was just like, hello, anybody see me? He was 5 years older than me, and I just kept being dragged to all these like auditions for him or these competitions.
So how old were you at that time, Toya?
How old was I?
Yeah.
Oh, so my first competition, I think I was 11 or 12.
Wow, you started young.
Yeah.
You started young.
Yeah. So it was like, my grandmother was like, no, you have to hear her sing. And so my mom's like, okay. She's like, you should put her in that competition. Zeb's doing the senior one. They're not even competing against each other, my brother. And, you know, my mom's like, oh, I don't even think she'll be up for it. And then my grandma said, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So my mom got me the little cassette, karaoke, you know? And the first song I ever sang out in public was Make It Like It Was by Regina Bell. And I got on stage.
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. But you know, it's so funny that because my dad was like a singer and played and whatever, like when he was helping me learn the song, I kind of just, because he told me I was great, I just believed it. Like there was nothing to like, you know, really tell me anything different. I used to sing for my friends who were like, oh, sing this song now, whatever was popular. Yeah. But when he like asserted that, like kind of, you got this, there was nothing stopping me. And I watched kids before me in the competition like crumble. Like they were, some of them were just like, or they were singing the song but their eyes were closed the whole time. They weren't engaged in the audience. But the minute mic went in hand, and I got on the stage and I heard my music and I opened my mouth, just seeing the crowd's reaction, I was like, I like that. I want to see more of that. And I let it rip. And then I won in the competition. I don't know if y'all remember, because this mall no longer exists, Warden Woods Mall. Okay.
Yeah, come on now.
Yes, that was the competition. And I think I remembered I won a shopping spree. I won a bicycle and cash. And I was like, you win stuff just for doing what you love to do? Amen. So that was my first, like, kind of jump into everything.
So check this, Toya. Someone just commented that they remembered you doing that performance.
What?
Listen, I'm telling you.
Just gave me goosebumps. Wow.
I saw her perform it live in Toronto. So like, they were like, yeah. So you just never know. You just never know. It transcends time. And I like the fact that you speak about your grandmother's support and your dad's support and making that, you know, that belief system in you. So when you look back on life and let's kind of move forward a little bit, you ended up on Canadian Idol.
I did.
How in the world did that happen?
By force, really. By
force.
My mother, because once she got a taste of like people hearing my voice and like,
so then she started to believe in you. Yeah,
totally. And she, like, everything leading up to that point was like, I was winning competitions back to back. It was to the point that I would do competitions and girls would see me and be like, oh, she's here. Oh, like, you know, But I don't think it was just my voice. I think it was literally like the whole package, like my presence. Like once I hit on stage, it was like I became this other extension of myself.
Yeah.
Which I think now, in hindsight, when I look back at it, that was my highest self, knowing my highest self and feeling comfortable in that space. And so I rocked from there. And I wasn't the kid who was like, I'm talented and I'm going to be a bratty kid. I was nice to everybody. And I was like behind the scenes laughing and carrying on people. And I'd be like, okay, one more contestant and then you. And I'm like, okay. And then I would try to get myself focused. So I was that kid. But when I talk about being forced into it, I did not want to do Canadian Idol. I did not. I literally was, up until the day, like I pretty much almost got like a GT cussing. Like, you know, for anybody who doesn't know that, it's Guyanese, Georgetown, Guyana, my mom's from. And he was like, you're gonna miss an opportunity? You don't want to be out there. No, 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 just sleep on your dreams then. Da, 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 da. I was like, I can't, several seats. And I just was like, fine, I'll go. And I went, I slept overnight.
Yeah.
You know, under those blue tarp things that people used to see, like, you know, on the Hollywood Idols. And my sister went with me, and I was kind of like nervous about going. And my boyfriend at the time was like, you can't have your voice like out there, like it was raining and whatever. So he and my sister would sometimes take shifts underneath the tarp and hold my spot. And I would go in the car to get warm sleep, like to be able to lean back and do the whole thing. And then I remember a couple hours towards, they were like, you're going to get a number and whatever. So he's like, okay, you have to come back to the car now. Let's do the switch. And I did it, and I went in, and I got a great reaction. And then I got that gold ticket. And then the spiral of everything Canadian Idol and every other abundant thing that could have come out of it did. So sometimes a little nudge is necessary.
Well, I think you touched some people's hearts. Someone says here, I remember you singing Celine Dion's at the YMCA in a competition because you loved me.
Oh, yes.
Honestly, you got some fans on here, T.
There's giving me goosies in my face right now.
So so when you think about Canadian Idol and some of your journey, and I mean, for me, if I could talk to you all day, but I'm going to try and mind the time of others and mind your time, what advice would you give to anyone? Because, you know, now there's The Voice, there's this, there's that, and you've gone through, you know, you went through it on the Canadian side, and I'm sure that's very different than the American side. What advice would you give to someone to make sure that they stay centered? Because you were favored to win. Everybody loved you. Yeah. And we know that the voters didn't fully agree, but most of Canada agreed, because there was like an uproar when you didn't place where we thought you should place. So
you know, there was actually a technical difficulty. That's what happened, to be honest. People were calling in saying that whenever they called my number, it was saying, thank you for voting. So say like if I was number 5, it would say, thank you for voting for contestant number 2. So that's where my votes were going. Yeah.
No way. So that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the next day, usually you do live interviews. Yeah. You're taken off of the show, and you usually only do the one with CTV, and then you do like a couple of other ones throughout the country. And the request to have me on was like, I was doing lives, like interviews, like over a couple of days, because people were so upset. Even at the finale, people came with posters, and they were trying to like move people because they really wanted more signs that said Ryan and Gary, right? Yeah. But they kept moving people and asking people to stop screaming my name and whatever. Like, yeah, but it was just funny. But for me, maybe had I won it, I might not have got out of it what I ended up getting out of it, because people kept thinking, no, I want to work with you. I want to help you now because of.
So what did you learn from that experience? What is a lesson that you learned and advice you can share?
I definitely learned that the best doesn't always win, that God always has a plan, and to definitely stand in your grace, because like I know for me, when the audience, when it was down to me, I believe, was it Audrey de Montigny? I can't believe her name just flew out of my mouth like that. It was down to me and her, and people were like, woo, during the commercial and whatever. And I don't know what just came over me, but I literally accepted it, made peace with myself about it.
Right.
And I literally just went like this to the audience. And it was like, woo.
Huge, huge, Toya. That's what you call integrity and humility.
Because I didn't want to go out like that. I didn't want to have that kind of attachment to it. I knew what I was worth. I knew that I was also paving the way for other people who were going to be on the show.
Right.
And I also knew I wasn't the typical pick because I didn't look the part. I sounded the part. My personality was the part, but my physique wasn't the part, especially back then. It was very much a look thing.
And how did you handle that, knowing that the persona of the look thing as they had it then?
Wow.
What was in you that came out that helped you to conquer that beast?
It was definitely my family, my friends who just were really like, I know so many people who love you, don't even think about it. And like, I would go to wardrobe fittings and like the picking of what to wear. Like if y'all look back on YouTube and check out some of those videos, you'll see some of those outfits I wouldn't even want to just sit in the same room with. Like I was like, completely goodbye.
Right.
But again, I was a bigger girl at the time. There wasn't even that many, stores that really were fashionable and had something to offer. But again, that also helped me with sponsorships eventually after from two sisters who were running a company called Voluptuous, and they started to sponsor me and like hook me up.
I remember that store.
Yeah. And so they hooked me up and did the whole thing. So I was like, oh, I was thankful. But I think I helped to pave the way for a lot of sisters who came after me who were on the show, because everything from makeup, I was like, you guys, L'Oreal doesn't really have our skincare test. It has like a ashy kind of finish for me, for what they had at the time. I don't know what they have now. But I just said, I need somebody who knows my skin and represents that. And I fought for myself. I think that was another thing, is that people also was like, here she goes being the diva or the loudmouth black girl. But I was like, I'm not being loudmouth anything. Look at this contestant. She looks amazing. Her skin looks flawless because you're working with a company that knows her skin. You don't know mine. So
you knew your worth. You were fighting for your worth, it sounds like. You knew.
Exactly. Totally. Because I hated when I looked back at some of the bio packs and things, and I was like, I look crazy. So I literally said, I don't want you guys make no offense, but I don't want y'all's makeup person to do my makeup. I'd rather do my own. And so then I hired, what's her name? Shelly Lashley. And Shelly Lashley came.
Shout out to Shelly.
Yes. And then guess what? Shelly Lashley, for all the remaining years, worked with both, is it Sue Upton and her, were doing the contestants' makeup. So
I love that, because I love that in you. And I love that when I think about living a victorious lifestyle, bringing each other up and helping each other to get to the next level in life, and recognizing that this journey is not just about you, it's the people alongside of you. So that sounds like some of the family values as what I'm hearing, that from your grandmother, and your grandmother believing in you, and then your mother finally coming on board for, and then your family was all around you, making sure that Toya was good, but you had that self-worth within yourself. So just before we move on into the next piece, give me one piece of advice you would give to that person in a similar role, doing a competition, dealing with this, entertainment business.
Really to just be mindful and tuned in to you, and to have an awareness of yourself. Because and remember, like at the time that I did it, internet was only now really becoming a thing, and being able to have these forums where you can have chat rooms. And so there was, of course, harsh people like, that big girl ain't gonna win. She can sing, I'll give her that, and had all these different things to say. So I was just happy that I knew I was talented, that at the end of the day, whoever won, if you gave me and them a mic and you took away, what you could see of us, I know I would be chosen every time. I just knew that within myself. And so I think that also too comes from me growing up in the church and just knowing like,
Yeah.
I gave you this gift for a reason and you're supposed to share it. And even going through that whole journey of really saying, okay, God, you put me here.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up? A couple times I even questioned it, but at the same time, I'm glad that I have a God that allows me to ask questions because I got answers. And I knew that I was paving the way for other people. Every time I watched the show and I supported the show after that, I would see the changes that I was asking for. So it was awesome feeling. So just really to know your worth and to be mindful of that, to be aware and speak life onto yourself.
Well, I just want to say thank you for having the courage to stand in the truth of who you were and who you are, and continuing to be that integral person that we met then, and I know is the same now. So we pivot in the journey, and Canadian Idol's done, and life continues to happen. So give us a little snapshot, T, as because I know you've had some health challenges that some people don't know about. You've gotten married. You've got what, twins plus 3 plus a hubby.
Yeah, I got a whole royal tribe over here. That's what I got.
So where are you located now?
Right now, so we're back and forth from Georgia to Toronto. Yeah.
Okay. And so what happened after Canadian Idol and your health?
Wow. So, well, after Canadian Idol, you know, I was touring, doing all this stuff with an artist, Estero, who I'm really still close friends with now. And I kind of did that whole thing, and I came back, and we had some downtime. And during that downtime, I found out that I was expecting. And so I didn't finish out the latter part of the tour. And after I had my son Lyric, I was like maybe 5 months later, I was hit in a car accident from behind, and I really couldn't do much. I was in so much pain and everything that they had to put me on Oxycontin and Percocet. Like every couple hours I was on one and then switched to the other, and it was just like this weird cycle. So during that time, I had to literally stop breastfeeding because of the medication.
Yeah.
And I was in like an insurmountable amount of pain all the time. And so that was the best choice. My mom was an active nurse at the time, and she was like, no, you cannot get acclimated to Oxycontin and Percocet. That's just not going to be it. But during that time, all I'm doing is eating, sleeping.
Right.
And then some of my memory during that time period of with my son, I'm thankful for photos. Thank you for pictures.
Right.
Because I would just literally be holding him and fall asleep. So my mom got placebo pills and weaned me off each one. And so thank you for amazing moms, right? And so once my mom did that, she just started trying to make me healthier meals and things like that. But I was in great pain. I couldn't do much. But she's like, you're trapped in your mind. You're too busy thinking about what you can't do. You have to focus on what you can do. So I started going to Aqua Size with seniors, and I just started literally those foam weights.
Yeah.
You never think would feel so heavy underwater, but woo, you take them in the water, you're like, oh, what is this gonna do? La la la. And then I get in there, and the seniors are all looking at me like, what's the young girl doing in here? But whatever.
And they didn't realize that you were recovering from a serious car accident with serious injuries. Yeah.
I could barely just walk down my street, let alone do any real activity.
So can you share a little bit about your injury so people really get the scope of how severe this was for you, that you had to be on this?
So because I was hit from behind, the impact, it fractured my tailbone. It also has a hairline fracture in my spine. And then because of the way I was holding onto the wheel, it also injured my wrist because I didn't realize I was holding onto the wheel so tight. So my wrists were damaged, even just to hold a pen, let alone hold a microphone. When I actually started to try to gig, it was hard to hold the microphone that I literally was doing the majority of my gigs with on a stand and using a stool. And I just had a lot of lower back pain and my knees because it hit the dash. So yeah, I had a lot of that. And then let alone mentally what it was doing to me, because I freaked out, like, no matter who was driving. I
Right.
literally, like, it took me a while to want to get back on the road.
So you've had a serious journey of dealing with your health and managing your family. So before we get into, because I know you've had to do some really serious life changes that has enhanced your life and it's enhancing some other people's lives. Let's do something fun. What's your favorite quote, Toya?
What's my favorite quote?
Do you have a favorite quote?
My
I'm
new
putting you on the spot.
Okay, my new favorite quote is choices lead and feelings follow.
Ooh, that is good.
Yeah, I've been rocking with that.
Unpack that for me, man. Choices
Okay.
lead and
Choices
feelings
lead,
follow.
feelings
You have
follow.
1 minute to unpack it.
Okay, so listen, y'all. For me, I'm a Cancer. So everybody knows Cancers are very emotional people. We can be moody people, but we are also the type of person who can be loyal to a fault. And so we get into our feelings quite a bit. And so for those times that you don't want to do something, making the choice to do it anyway and allowing yourself to, feel what it is to do it as you're going through the motions,
Right.
that's what helps you to get to the other side. So, especially even as a parent, sometimes you're like, I just don't want to do that today.
Yeah.
I don't. And you know that your kids need to eat, they need to shower, they need to get their homework done. And so you have to make a choice to do it. And then you find joy in it. So my mindset has shifted, where I literally say I get to do these things as opposed to I have to do these things. And now walking with, choices lead and feelings follow is becoming a lot easier. I'm still a work in progress with this, by the way.
Well, people, if you like what Toya just said, let's see some likes, let's see some heart, let's see some stars, because choices lead and emotions follow. Okay, Toya, I'm gonna take that one. We're gonna have to tweet that one later. Somebody tweet that one out for me and say it's, at her Twitter handle is the Toya Alexis, right? Toya Alexis. So tweet on her behalf. Okay, so who inspires you? Give something fun. Who inspires you and why? Ooh, you got 1 minute.
My mom, that's not even a thought for me. It's my mom. For everything that I've ever been through and everything I've ever seen her go through and how she's been able to just warrior through it. She finds a reason to laugh anyway. She's very much a person, if you tell her she can't do something, she's going to be like, you know what? Yes, I can. Yeah. And my mom is a prayer warrior. When I'm going through something and I'm like, Mom, I need you right now. My mom's like, I'm getting on my knees right now. And that is it, right? So my mom, I hope to be, at least half of what she is. But then again, she comes from great stock. My grandma, who's always encouraged me that I'm going to be the best mom and the best wife, and I'm going to figure it out along the way. And she's like, when things get tough, that's when you really got to dig deeper. So yeah, I would say my mom and my grandma.
Your mom and your grandma. Well, the pillars, you can't touch the pillars. They're just so phenomenal. So we're in COVID. So we're experiencing this thing called COVID. It's a virus and it's interrupting our lives. How has that challenged you and your family, your children and your husband? And what are you doing to get through this time?
Honestly, I don't even think I've really acknowledged what we're talking about here. I barely even say it. I just call it the peculiar season that we are in. Because I don't want to give it any more life. There's so many people out there being negative with it and finding all the things that are wrong and trying to put this fear energy into everybody and this, I can't rock with that. I'm not that person. However, I have chosen to go the other route of just finding what the blessings are. Normally, my husband would be traveling with his AAU teams, with his basketball teams. And this is the longest I think we, in all of our years together, have had consecutively. So I've looked at it like this is quality time to engage with each other, for him to be more of a dad with the kids, for him to step up more in different areas of the household. But he's still running his business from home, but I look at it as a blessing to have that. Plus now there's extra hands in the space. So it's easier for me now to also work on the things that I have on the go. And having even the eldest one's home, it's okay. You're gonna help now. You're gonna learn some new responsibility. Yep, don't think this is vacation, summer vacation starting so soon. Like, you about to learn.
Yeah. So you're putting some serious values in place. What advice could you give to parents that have their kids at home? Yeah, you're an entrepreneur. Your husband's an entrepreneur. He's doing his work from home. Give us just a nugget, because you just dropped a nugget there with that quote. So the pressure is on, Toya. The pressure is on.
I would say, first and foremost, be kind to yourself, because nobody really knows what this is and how long
yourself.
this is going to run. And for me, being somebody who has experienced severe postpartum depression, I know that when you're not kind to yourself and you're not aware of what you're feeling and acknowledging it and having people to connect with, that can change your whole world. And so I've been just in a space of connecting with people. I've been staying around like-minded people, because I've had to detox a few people, because every time I spoke to them, it was something negative. And I'm like, that's the way they're choosing to deal, but I can't let myself get, enwrapped in whatever that is for them. But I still send you my love yous. I still send messages. I stay connected, but just in a different way. Love you from afar. So
I maintain that mindset. You gotta stay focused. You gotta stay intentional.
As my husband says, he doesn't know who's telling him no, he can't do something, because he doesn't see them. It's like complete tunnel vision. So that's kind of where I walk from. And then routine would help, but like my mama of twins plus 3 life doesn't really lend itself that much to the routine. I do my best to put certain things in place, and then some days I'm like, schmack, we gonna freestyle it, because I am not in the mood today.
So the ability to be flexible is key. So I got a question here from one of our listeners.
Sure.
How does your husband make your life better?
Wow. Okay, I would say, how does my husband make my life better? I would say my husband makes my life better because I thought I was a big dreamer, but I realized he has this like innate something within himself that I can get jealous of every once in a while, because not only does he dream big for himself, but I feel like he dreams even bigger for me. And he's always said the potential in me, whatever that is, at whatever stage, that he always sees my potential.
Now that's powerful. He always dreams bigger for me, and he always sees your potential. What does that do for you as a woman and as a mother and as a wife?
It makes me have to like figure out ways to really choose to like show up in different aspects of my life in different ways. And it makes me feel like I can do it.
So guys, if you're listening, if you're hearing what Toya is saying, whether, and I say couples, so I shouldn't say just guys. I say couples, if you're listening, it's important to champion your partner, to show up for them, to encourage them, and be their champion. I love that. I wish your husband was around, but I know he is busy taking care of the kids while you're doing this with me. So I give him all my love for that. So he has been your champion, and I know that on your health journey, you had to pivot. And that pivot had to make you make some health choices. And now you have your own business, I understand. And I understand because of you, I'm getting an even healthier lifestyle. So if you just joined us, this is Toya Alexis. Some of you know her from Canadian Idol. I am Nicole Waldron, Victory Speaks. And welcome to the Victory Speaks podcast. And we're having an inspired conversation. And that's what we want to do here. We want to have inspired conversations with people who are famous, infamous, but I think we're all famous in our own selves.
Yes.
We all have a purpose. And so what we want to do is take people on that journey. And as I learn from the people in my life, I hope I could share some of that wisdom with you, and we can all learn together. And hence I invited Toya to be the first guest today on Inspired Conversations, my mama's birthday, May 20, 2020, can't forget that. And as I remember that, and I say that, 20 plus 20 makes 40, and Toya is going to be 40 soon.
That's right. 2 months, just shy of 2 months now.
So if you stay till the end of the broadcast, you'll find out she's going to do a giveaway because she has something that she's doing really specific for her 40th. So now let's reverse.
Yes.
In Trinidad, we would say reverse back. I know that's not possible, but reverse back. And go into what you had to do and what you're doing now to enhance your health, and the health of others like myself who've come on this journey, because I would not be on this journey. I really, you know what? I needed the help. I was doing other things, but not always taking care of my health the way that I should be. One of these days, I'll share my testimony of going through some of the stress. But it's so important that as we take care of our minds, we take care of our bodies. As we take care of our spirit, we take care of our bodies. And so often we do the others, but our body gets left behind. So what have you been doing? I hear it works.
It does work, honestly. I love you, girl.
I love you too.
It does. Honestly, first and foremost, on my weight loss journey to get to where I am now, it really had to be a mind shift, first and foremost. I don't care, like, you know, when people start these new trends, fads, whatever it is, I mean, trust me, I've done them all. And I rock with this one because it lets me live, finally, have a healthy lifestyle. I can still have my dessert and, you know, just be in that space. And so for me, that was really important because I kept feeling in the past that I was doing something that I was constantly counting calories, constantly having to walk around with something. And I just felt like I was working all the time. It was literally mentally draining, physically draining, and I still wasn't getting all the results that I wanted. But at the same time, I wasn't ready when I was trying all those times.
Right.
But I got to a space where I'm like, I can't be like this. I don't want my kid to grow up and be embarrassed that I'm that mom, you know, that doesn't take care of herself, who just has to wear whatever can fit. And I wanted to be the mom that when I roll up at the school, it's not like, okay, let's go to the car. Like, you know, because my mom was fly, looking great all the time. My brother couldn't stand when his friend drove over and be like, who's that? And he's like, who? And they describe what the person's wearing. He's like, that's my mom. You better, like, you know? And my mom, like, really inspired me to be like, I want to be that mom. Like, I want to still have it. And so for me, my biggest was 338 pounds. And now to date, I've lost 100 plus pounds, probably more like around the 120. And I have maintained that even after my last two pregnancies of my 3-year-old and my 2-year-old boys. So yeah, it's super possible, but it really was a mind shift first. I started to speak life onto myself. Every little bit of whatever I wanted to go, every time I looked at myself in the mirror, stop talking to myself from a space of, oh, I'm so disgusted with this, and I can't stand that role, and I can't wait till it leaves, and it was just too negative. So then I was like, look at you, girl, I'm gonna love those pounds away. Yes, and girl, look at you, you looking fly, you queen.
You went back into talking to your inner self, seeing the value, but recognizing, and I think that's part of the whole thing. You know, we have purpose, and if we want to fulfill our purpose, some call it destiny, we have to be healthy, and we can't fulfill our dreams and our goals and our visions if this body isn't intact. And so I give you a lot of kudos for recognizing that, you know, your weight was becoming a problem, which was affecting your health, and then saying, I got to do something about it, but recognizing it was a holistic thing. You started here, your thoughts, your emotions, and then you came on board. So now you've started your business, and you're with It Works, and you've introduced me to some really great products. And it's not just about weight loss. It was, for me, when I heard about what you were doing, I really saw the value, because I saw you just metamorphosize, or I may be saying the word wrong, like a butterfly, you know?
Transformed, yeah.
You were transforming inside and out, and you were becoming happier, and your face was getting healthier, and your energy level was getting up there. And I was like, okay, there might be a little something to what Toya is saying here. So tell us a little bit about these products, because I know it's really important to you that you're doing this because of what it's doing for people. And I know my sister and myself are doing it because of what it's bringing, the benefits to our lives.
Right. My biggest thing is I just want people to really think preventative instead of always putting their energy, their time, and their finances into the cure, which is what is the moneymaker out there for, all these other businesses who know exactly what they're giving you. So they want you to not take care of yourself.
Right.
And especially in our community, I find like for me, I had cancer on both sides, diabetes on both sides, high blood pressure on both sides. And that was definitely going to be my life if I didn't get it together. So I had my why in my son. I had
Right.
my why in seeing my dad have 2 back-to-back strokes. And I was like, I'm not the one. Like, I cannot. I
Yeah.
refuse. I made a choice that I'm going to do better. I'm going to choose better. Even in the beginning part of my journey, I banned myself from drive-throughs because I'd be coming home from the studio late at night
Yeah.
and what's open? Fast food. So I was eating and consuming that. So I was, yes,
Intentional choices. Yeah.
exactly. So even with this program that I do, I still do meal prep. I still, but it's a different kind of meal prep. I'm enjoying my Caribbean dishes because people are like, oh, I don't like anything that doesn't have flavor and da 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 da. And I'm like, listen, cook your food, but everything's in moderation. If
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
choose healthier, cleaner things, that's gonna,
Right.
do it. Plus, I drink a lot of water now. But these products that I use, their vitamin and nutrients need those assistants. The water
Yeah.
and the choices that you're going to make to have cleaner eating. And on the weekends, I get the get down. Cheesecake
Yeah.
Factory knows me. I love my cheesecake.
And you love cheese.
And I love cheese. I love
Yeah.
cheese. I love
If
cheese.
you want to give Toya a gift, just give her some cheese.
Right?
Just give her some cheese. You're gonna make her real happy.
Exactly. So I just started to just make certain little changes,
Right.
because that's how it was presented to me. Like, oh, just swap out your coffee. I was like, okay, I can swap out my coffee. But I was a heavy coffee drinker. I was a Tim
Right.
Hortons, Starbucks girl. And I was like, I need my stuff. But I was actually amazed that in 3 days of using my coffee for the first time, I had no craving for the normal strong coffee that I was having.
Right.
But then also I had dropped a couple pounds. So I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. I was wowed. And then I was like, okay, I need to like look up more of this stuff. And so I started looking into more. I was using the greens as well too.
Right.
And the greens, I loved it because I'm somebody who like gets these like weird headaches sometimes in the morning, which I rarely suffer from anymore because of it. And the greens, it helps to like detoxify, balance, and alkaline your body. And it actually tastes good because I'm a texture person. If it hits my palate.
And it doesn't, yeah, I'm like that too. Yeah.
So,
I cannot drink vegetables. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna be the one who's gonna put kale and carrot. I know it sounds really good.
I don't care about that apple.
I can't do it. I'm not doing it. Don't give me celery. But I really like this. And for those of you who don't know, and be sure to check out Toya's her Facebook page and stuff. She has this amazing company that she's associated with called It Works, and they have healthy and you correct me anywhere I'm going wrong, natural
Yes.
products. So like, if you're going to get your vitamins and stuff, you always worry about what are the other things in the vitamin, what are the other things in the green that are not easy for your body to absorb, that don't taste good. And so I have benefited from what the products that Toya has and that she's using, called It Works. It's a company that's been around for over how many years, Toya?
It's 20 years now.
20 years.
20 years, debt-free, and very consistent with how they have formulated products and reformulated products. They're never just content. I know everybody who's ever heard of us knows us for the wrap, but
Right.
we are so much more than that. Even that has evolved over time, and it still does what it says it's going to do. I think what I love about it too is because I didn't want to be somebody putting in chemicals and getting those jittery feelings and whatnot. So with this, it's non-GMO, soy-free, vegan,
Right.
keto-friendly. You don't have to be on a keto diet to have the benefits of it, especially if you're someone who's trying to practice intermittent fasting. I love it because the coffee helps to extend that, so your body's like, burning that fat, and it's like, it's, you know, helping your body to stay in ketosis. So it's all like really healthy things like the healthy fats that are in it, MCT oil, grass-fed butter, coconut oil, instead of bulletproofing. So for anybody who doesn't know what bulletproof coffee is, it's having to get all of those ingredients and make it yourself. But with what I have, it's already in a packet, cold compressed, at its best timing for you to have the results that you want. So I rock with that, but I right now, well, we can mention it right before the giveaway, but I have something going on to help people.
And I wanted to get into that because we're going to be wrapping up soon. And
yes.
and someone said, okay, they want to look into it. Definitely hit Toya up, hit me up. We can connect you. I know I don't start my morning without my keto coffee. If I don't have my keto coffee, I have my greens in my water. One of the things for me as I go on this journey, I'm making sure that I stay in victory, making sure that I'm properly hydrated. So I realized that for myself, I remember mentioning to you one day that I'm always thirsty, but I'm drinking lots of water.
Yeah.
And recognizing that my metabolism was a little off, and they had this product called Hydrate, and now I put it in, and now I am so much better.
Yeah.
And I could
like
tell
5 bottles in one. Like, come on.
and your skin looks like amazing. So
skincare too.
if anybody else wants to know about it, let us know. Give us some thumbs up, and maybe, you know what, maybe we can just do a live on It Works and some of the products that you have. So you have a goal, July 16th, right? Do I have the date right?
Yep, July 16th.
2020.
Yes.
Is a big day. 2020, you know, 20 plus 20 is 40, and she's turning 40.
Yeah.
Then, and Toya has a goal. What's that goal, T?
So my goal is to help a minimum of 40 people a month before my birthday. So essentially I have 2 months left to rock this out.
Okay.
And what I'm really trying to do is to get people in a preventative space where they are really taking care of themselves, from their mindset to their heart space to their bodies, and spiritually along the way too. And I am like your personal cheerleader. I rock with you. I follow up with you. I make sure you're good, because I understand what that journey is, and when you can feel by yourself, especially if you tried so many things before and wasn't successful at it. So I'm on a mission to help 40 people minimum leading up to my birthday.
Okay.
And of course beyond, because I'm not going to stop working my business at that point. But that's really my goal. I really want to get more people being preventative and really helping themselves. So whether it's that you need something for energy, your nutrition, you need help with growing your hair, or like whatever, your skincare. Like I drink my skincare sometimes and it tastes yummy, and it's showing from the inside out. So I love it. It makes me feel good, and it gives me mental clarity on a lot of the stuff that I use. It's like my focus is different. I feel myself being more productive, and I want other people to have that kind of gift of health and wealth.
So, okay, so a couple things as I scratch my ear. So we're going to say how people can find out about getting this, be a part of the giveaway.
Yes.
And, but I'm just going to, I didn't prepare you for this. So if you stay on, we're going to do that giveaway, and you can connect with myself or Toya and say, okay, what are you really trying to achieve? And then we'll pick the best product for you, because we don't want to give you something that
totally customize something for you.
You'll totally customize the gift for you, whether it's a keto coffee, whether it's greens that are not green.
Right?
They're not, I mean, sometimes a drink can come in green, but they're not like, you're not eating vegetables.
No,
Eating vegetables in a really tasty way. Or something for your face. You want some, some cleanser for your face, some nail stuff, whatever it is you want. We're going to work that out. But T, give us a song. Hit us with a song, T. I didn't prepare for this. I know. I mean, we got to be spontaneous.
Okay. Wow.
Always be prepared, like a Girl Scout, like a Boy Scout. Always be prepared.
Okay, what's your mom's name? What's your mom's first name?
My mom's first name, to shorten it, is Berna. Or her full name is Bernadette.
Bernadette. Okay.
It's a long name.
Let's sing Bernadette happy birthday.
You can do that, but you still have to sing another song.
I can't with you. You see you? You see you?
Yeah.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Happy, happy birthday.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. She's gonna love it. And this birthday song, we're gonna send it out to anybody who has a birthday. It's just anybody. Okay, here it goes. Is
Ooh.
anybody born in May? If you're born in May and you're online, hit me up now.
You gotta be able to show proof when we ask you.
Yeah. And if you're not born in May, I am oh, they said sing, Toya. So you gotta sing another song.
Oh.
Throw a song out there that you wanted to sing.
Oh my
Yeah. We're gonna get real here. So, or are you born in July? So whoever is born in either May or closest to the July. Floydine Charles Friedel says long time. Damien says sing, Toya. Okay, so Damien Andre says sing, Toya. Dr. Vibe is loving it. Sarah Oyango wants to find out some more about the product. Essie says she needs some hair stuff.
I got you, queen.
So we're gonna make sure that you have all the information. Like you can hit her up on Facebook at Toya Alexis. She talks to
direct message me. Yeah.
Damien said it's actually everybody's birthday today. And okay, Floydine, we're gonna get you some greens. I'm gonna talk to you about some. Oh, so Floydine's husband's birthday is May 17th. And she's the only person that responded so far. So Floydine, you're the first one to answer. We are going to put together a prize pack for you. Floydine is a pillar in our community, and she's always doing activism for our young people, our women. She's just amazing. She's at CAF Canada. So I'm giving you a plug in, Floydine.
Yeah.
Joan Pierre says, sing on. So what I'm hearing right now, so Toya, you have just amazing voice. I don't know why I'm screaming. It's like I forget that I'm right here with you and the mic's right here.
What? That's just the joy coming out. That's just
it's the passion. I just love hearing you sing. I remember you when you used to be on gospel, the gospel Christmas that we did with Andrew Craig, and I mean every Christmas we came together with Chris Lowe and Jackie Richardson and a whole bunch of people.
Kelly Lee Evans.
Kelly Lee Evans, come on out. Andrew Craig, if you're listening, and if you're not listening, we're going to send you this video. Can we do a gospel Christmas online? Joan Pierre, are you hearing me? Gospel, and if you won't produce the darn thing, I'm going to get it my darn self and produce it my darn self. I can't sing a lick, but I can produce it. Come on now. We're going to have a sing-along with the greats. So I'm putting it out there. So you got the next song ready, Toya? Because they're waiting.
You know what? Let's see.
That was that song you did the other day online. I wish I could remember it. And it was so good. It made me cry.
Which
my goodness.
The gospel song?
Yeah. You're always singing.
I know, girl. I find all of our phone calls end with a song. Like, it just cracks me up.
Somebody said, sing something from Dream Girls.
Oh my gosh. Now that needs a warm-up, y'all. Y'all gotta be.
The song I posted today. I posted a song today on Facebook that you sang at Canadian Idol.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see, what's that song that I posted today? Because I think it was so appropriate when I was listening to it. Try It On My Own.
Oh, wow. I don't even know if I remember the words.
But the song, okay, fine. Okay.
But that's a good song. Whitney, one of my inspirations, yeah.
But you know what, Toya? You have so many posts on your page. Anybody have a question? If you have a question, now is the time.
No, yeah.
Now is the time to shoot me a question. And
was the song Tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Especially for this season that I'm never gonna say the actual season name. Especially now.
But you know what? Before you sing that song, I just want to encourage people to remember that there is crisis in opportunity. There's opportunity in crisis. And so some of us see this as a crisis. I see it as an opportunity. I have seen it as an opportunity to learn. I've seen it as an opportunity to master my craft, to get more innovative. I mean, as an event planner, my base thing is as an event planner. And we've met in the event planning world. All events were canceled.
Yeah.
So we have to reinvent ourselves. And we have to do some quick pivoting, learning how to do events online. Mm-hmm. I know for myself, and I'm going to share a dream. We've been talking. So I'm working on getting back my life coach certification so I can officially life coach again, and doing my podcast, Victory Speaks, and this is part of the Victory Speaks. And so, and just listening and catching up on things. I know friends of mine are baking. People like Joan Pierre are sharing all their food stuff online, but don't share the recipes, right, Joan? Are you listening?
Right. I love your cooking, Auntie.
Don't waste the crisis, says Ed. And Joan Pierre, we need some of your pepper sauce. So start putting into your orders for Joan Pierre's pepper sauce. I can't remember the name of what you call it, JP, but your husband gave it a name. And so we gotta order it. I'm telling you now.
He just needs to start a business with that pepper sauce.
Listen, I'm just gonna be real. People are gonna laugh at me. I am the Trini that cannot eat pepper. Okay? It's a health thing. Don't, Toya. I get an earache,
I love
things
you.
happen. However, when it comes to Joan Pierre's pepper sauce, for those of you who are not Trini, you may not understand what I am saying. But when it comes to Joan Pierre's pepper sauce, it is tasty, right? And I literally have to order it. And then I put it in my food to flavor it. If you want to flavor a pot, let me tell you, get some Joan Pierre pepper sauce. I'll be taking orders. Yes, I may not take a percentage.
Some people might need a subtitle for that, but you have to be in your zone to share.
Listen, and you have to just put a little bit in your food, and you're good to go. And so I think I just went off on a tangent. I just started thinking about Joan cooking and then pepper sauce and then all sorts of stuff, and my whole brain just exploded. Food, and now I can eat lots of food because I am detoxing. I'm gonna do my cleanse this week.
Yes,
I'm gonna do
that cleanse kickstart.
Okay, I gotta talk about the cleanse for a minute.
Yeah.
This is it works. This is an it works spiel right now. The cleanse is the first cleanse I've ever taken that tastes good. That doesn't taste like bleh. That was a really bad tongue, but it doesn't taste awful, and it doesn't make you run to the washroom all the time. Right. So you can take it. You're not worried about. You can take it and go out and go about your business.
It's white pants approved. You ain't running nowhere.
White pants approved cleanse. Have you ever heard of that, people? And I've loved it. And then I put on my wrap a few days later, and I'm good to go. And I know that I've lost the weight. I have to go back and take my cleanse because I have physical distancing weight. Because I'm an emotional eater. Okay, Toya, you ready to sing? Because I'm just going all out.
I love it. Thanks for that share.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super tasty and it works.
Floyd says, "I believe in you and me." That's also another song. So you have choices.
Wow, I don't even know if it's the words. Let me tell you, baby brain is for real, and they say when you have multiples, it's even worse. So trust me when I say,
baby brain is for real.
Yeah.
So go back to the song that you were thinking about that you.
I think tomorrow would be a good.
Yes, tomorrow. Okay, people, tune in. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to get a drink. Get your tissues ready. Wait, hold on. I've got my tissue because she always makes me cry. I got my tissue. Not my. So for those of you that could be having a challenging time, some of you may have lost some loved ones. We're in a different season. For those of you that are even struggling with the stress, staying at home, not being able to see your friends or your families, not being able to do the things that you want to do, remember the sun is always shining in some part of the world.
Amen.
And there is always a tomorrow, whether it's here or in eternity, there is always a tomorrow. So I'm going to just flip this to my girl, Toya.
You're going to make me cry talking like that right before. Okay. Whew. All right. All right. Jesus said, "Here I stand. Won't you please take my hand?" And he said, "I will, but tomorrow." Jesus said, "I am he who supplies all your needs." And he said, "I know, but tomorrow, ooh, tomorrow, I'll give my life tomorrow. I thought about today, but it's so much easier to say tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. Better choose the Lord today. For tomorrow, very well might be today.
Oh, sukiyaki now. That was it. Let's get some thumbs up. Let's get some. If you loved what Toya just did, I'm just saying. See, that was just, I had to like distract myself so I couldn't cry. I really thank you for sharing this. I really, if you messed up your mascara, I messed up mine preparing for this anyways.
Good.
And Damon Andrew said, go ahead and sing, girl. Let's show Toya some love. Let's see the hands up. Let's see the thumbs up. Joan Pierre says, bravo. And I know I can listen to it all day. I'm seeing the hearts. I'm seeing the like. It's like bursting out there. Yes, because we need to see the hearts and the likes. And because T, your voice is just so beautiful. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that joined us today for having this inspired conversation. Thank you for, just taking the time to be with us today. And we encourage you to take some time to have an intentional, inspired conversation with those around you, your loved ones, friends, and family. And Toya, finding me again.
Yes, I feel like I'm still on the journey finding me again, but I'm a lot closer than I was. And no matter what the situation, this is another thing I learned from my king was he can't make me happy.
Woo!
Yeah, he can't make me happy.
This is part 2, people.
Right?
Let's enter part 2.
The little smidgen I will say, because I feel like it's resonating with me, so it may resonate with somebody who needs to hear this right now, is that I had to learn to choose happiness. I had to learn to choose joy for myself, and then have my king support the happiness I created for myself and the joy I see within myself. And understanding that joy is not a feeling, joy is a focus. And when you—
Whoa. I'm so glad we recorded this thing today. Joy is not a feeling, it's a focus. Okay, go ahead now.
Yes, and I think when you keep figuring out ways to turn moments around, like, you know what, let me just tell myself real quick. So the last couple of days, I don't know if it's this retrograde, the moon doing something, and the devil trying to be busy, but in the name of Jesus, he won't be with me, nor my family, nor my marriage, nor my team, our company, and anybody who touches anything that I can, okay? I am claiming that over everybody. But even me, my most positive, happy-go-lucky self, found myself going from 0 to 100, whether it's the quarantine and I couldn't self-isolate myself fast enough within a walk-in closet. I wasn't my best self. But right after it, I put my worship music in my ears, then I listened to some of my personal development stuff, and I just reminded myself to be my highest self. And so I always say to myself, whenever I get caught up in these moments, I'm like, you know what? Latoya, what would your highest self say to you right now?
Okay, I'm waiting and I'm writing.
Right? What would your highest self say to you right now? And it's like and it's the simple, verbiage that we all have heard over the years of, you know better, so do better. And when you're confused, learn to wait. Wait. The acronym WAIT. Why am I talking? That could be because you're having a disagreement. That could be because you are trying to be more reactive than responsive and trying to control something that sometimes isn't your thing to control. So I sometimes have to bring myself back and say, Lord, this is not even my battle. I don't even understand why I'm even attempting this. It's not my place. So I remember that I'm a daughter of a king, and then I restart. And every moment you have the opportunity to begin again. You do. Right now, if you had a bad day, it's no more. Right now, in the name of Jesus, you can have a reboot. Right now, in this second right here, you can start again. And if you keep doing that and putting yourself first, because when you're filling up your cup, it's easy to let that continuously flow out to other people. So even if you're the most positive person, even when you have your worst day, be kind to yourself and remember that you are a daughter of a king or a son of a king, and then you move again from that space.
Self-compassion, self-care,
Yeah.
patience. Now, wait. Why am I talking right now? I mean, like, can I get an amen, a hallelujah? You may have to sing again. You're going to have to sing again, Toya.
Couples during quarantine, I tell you right now, why am I talking? Sometimes there's nothing need to be said. And I know me, my personality, I gotta need to be right sometimes. I just gotta need.
Sometimes you just gotta shut up, listen, wait.
Yep.
Because you don't always have to be right to be right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to be the one that wants to have the last word.
Silence has so much conversation. Some of my best conversations with my husband is in silence.
Yeah.
Real talk. Like you know how sometimes you go through it as a couple and sometimes there doesn't necessarily need to be a conversation. Yeah. It could just be that look, that understanding, like, okay, we both went through something. And then it could just be that roll up, the cuddle at night, or the feet touching, you know.
Right.
We from our wedding, one of the best pieces of advice we got was don't take it into the new day, because that's what the devil's banking on, is that he can ruin your marriage, ruin you guys being evenly yoked, and try to shift that energy. So like even on my most wrong day, I'm like, let me just keep humming through. But really and truly, I'm really checking my own self and, you know, tuning back in. So I'm thankful for awareness. I'm thankful that I know to be thankful. I'm thankful that I know to be grateful. And that has been everything to my world.
You know, Toya, I am so grateful and humbled to have this conversation with you. You know, a lot of people have just joined us. I hope you can go back and listen to the conversation. Toya, a lot of people know her from Canadian Idol. She has the voice of an angel. If I wanted to know what an angel sounded like, I just listened to Toya. I sometimes go on her feed and just hear her singing. And then she always speaks from a place of victory. And, you know, this is why, you know, she was so much of a good person to have on today. She speaks from a place of victory. She thinks from a place of victory. She walks her talk. She feels victoriously. She loves victoriously. She believes, and she waits. Actually, those are my 7 principles of walking in victory. And you do all of those things, but you're also authentic. You also recognize that, you know what, today I'm feeling down and I need a little help. And it's not, my victory today is not going to look like it does tomorrow. And we have to take some of this pressure off of ourselves. We have to learn how to be real. We have to be honest with each other. We have to have, and these are some of the takeaways from our conversation today. We have to have our rocks, our pillars. For those of us that believe in prayer, and that have our faith, we have our those that we can call on to pray for us. And even if you don't have a prayer life, or you don't believe in a higher power, being intentional with yourself, being intentional with your choices, seeing your value, seeing your worth, fighting for yourself, fighting for who you believe in, and then also having people, like when you talked about your accident, having an advocate in your corner that will fight for you when you can't fight for yourself. There's so many nuggets in this conversation, T, that I just enjoyed. I can have 10,000 conversations out of this conversation. I really hope you guys have, you know, enjoyed it. Floydine, you're going to get that gift. If you want any more information on It Works, Toya is a great place to connect with. Can they connect with you on Facebook, T?
They totally can. Go to Toya Alexis on my Facebook, DM me, friend request me, like, let's connect, okay? Let's be really, you know, I'm ready to help people do their thing. If I can do it and now be someone who says, I'm a mama of twins +3 to my amazing king, then I know that someone else is going to be able to have that testimony or any other thing that their heart dreams of, and they're limited because they feel the way they look, or how, you know, they're moving right now isn't rocking. But I'm not just somebody who's sharing product. I'm somebody who really wants to see you win. And now let me just show me for a minute. Look at this.
Come on now. Woo, girl, okay. Come on now. Come on, T. You are showing, and you know what? T will tell you that it ain't about, she hasn't been, she knows she's supposed to exercise, but she hasn't been on an exercise program. This has just been,
Just
and I think your husband, I mean, I can say this because your husband says it, he's amazed at what you've done with your health through just using these It Works products. So I mean, kudos to you, kudos for your courage. I'm going to say Joan Pierre actually says, I have to agree with Silence It Works. So Joan Pierre, I know I've been tooting your horn. Many people know, if you don't know who Joan Pierre is in my life, but you just don't know me. But hopefully you'll get to know me over time, that she is my right hand and I'm her left hand. And, you know, we're like two peas in a pod. But Joan Pierre, I'm thinking now, Toya, and if you guys agree with me, give me some thumbs up and some hearts. I want to put some women in a chat room on Zoom. We're going to have a private call and we're going to talk about marriage and we're going to talk about relationship and relationship advice. If you're in for that, let me know, send me a DM. You know, so many people are going through this and I've heard Joan Pierre give so much good advice. I see so many healthy couples on the line. There's that show called Black Love that's happening online. I love it. But let's have an intimate conversation. And Toa, you're saying Nicole runs that. What did you, which Nicole T? Send me a note and drop the mic, she says. So, and then, you know, Damien Andre, he's also a great performer. You're on here, Damien. I love you. He's also a chef. Drop a little note to Damien. Go on his website, learn how to cook a new meal. I think we should have this like a cook-off in there. Floydine says, count her in. Okay, so we are going to do this Zoom call, a private call. If you're interested, really just drop me a DM. My Twitter is @VictorySpeaks7. My Instagram is @VictorySpeaks7. And if you're on Facebook, you know where I am. If you're watching this on YouTube, you may not know where I am. But it's all VictorySpeaks7. My email is victoryspeaks7@gmail.com. I want to give a big shout out to Nicole Coco-Lorraine for doing my logo and being my champion and pushing me out there, for my sisters and my family for just loving on me, and for all of you that have been in my circle that ensure that through it all, that I daily strive to live a life of victory. I hope that you can live a life of victory. Share your thoughts, share your questions, share your quotes. I want your favorite quotes. I want your favorite, you know, sayings and advice that we can share with one another. Let's create a movement of victory. That's my thing. Let's create a movement of victory. And as time goes by, we'll work at all the technical glitches. We'll get better. I want to say shout out to KK. He's blessing me with some amazing equipment. So I'm gonna give a shout out to KK, and we're gonna see some of that happening as the podcast gets better, and we'll get better lighting, and you know. But I'm open and I'm humble. Liberty White, thank you for coming on here. You're a pillar in what you do. And so for everybody on here, if I didn't get to call your names, know that I love you. Sarah Oyango, you're just like, you rock it in Ottawa. Sean, you're like Sean Cottrell. He's just like an amazing choir director and singer. So we have so many great people in our community. I wanna meet with each of you. I wanna talk with each of you. If you wanna be in a conversation, if you wanna have an inspired conversation with Victory Speaks, that's me. Because we are the victory. We walk in victory, we talk in victory, and we are the victory. So have an inspired conversation, make it intentional. And Toya, you want to sing us out? Please? Pretty please? Pretty please?
You know what, girl? You're good. You're good.
I'm getting a woohoo from Noreen. Woohoo. I got an amen. Come on. Come on.
Don't let the problems get you down. Don't let the situation make you frown. Don't let the hard times get the best of you. Hold your head up and walk on through. I know it's hard to see your way. The devil throwing madness all in your way. But don't let the hard times get the best of you. Hold your head up and walk on through.
That was amazing. Thank you. Joan Pierre says, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Hold your head up. Hold your head up to the sky.
That's right.
Remember, there's always tomorrow. If the going gets rough, call someone. Um, Toya and I are here for you. And if for those of you that know me, if you have a loved one with a mental illness and you need support, I'll get you to support systems that you need. And hold your head up. Have an intentional conversation. Remember to smile. And the sun is always shining somewhere in the world. Love you guys. Peace. Thank you for joining us on Inspired Conversations. On Victory Speaks, have an inspired conversation today. So I'm just I think we stopped live streaming.
Yep, I saw it come off the screen. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to